See if this shoots me off live. Hopefully it does. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Now, I know I'm probably sounding kind of low, so let me fix that real quick as usually I have issues with recording devices and things like that. So, let's see here. Does it have my levels? Yeah, it has my levels at 100 today for the first time in forever in a day. So, there's that. Probably something in my sound. Let's see here. Hopefully that makes me sound a little louder. Oh, well, maybe that would probably do it. Let's see here. Yeah, that should fix a lot of what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents. I am going to pop out my chat real quick here on the YouTube side. So just to make it easier on myself. Okay, so we're gonna start off with comments because my Stephanie Vaquer video. We're gonna talk about this because a lot of you commented. I had a lot of feedback, and we went up 100 subscribers almost. And I thank each and every one of you, man. Seriously, thank you. I'm honored for sure. I'm very blessed. You know what I mean? But some of your guys' comments, man, I just left me baffled. Like, guys, this tribalism stuff, let it die. Let it die. Just be a pro wrestling fan. We're going to get into a SmackDown review too. But guys, you guys don't need to be extra in the comment section to get your point across. Some of your guys' comments, man, like, I just don't understand that. Like this one right here. We're going to start with this one here to start. You are part lost, CMLL, and learn how to spell. If you're going to spell and you're going to try to quote information, please spell properly. You mean NJWP. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Spent money promoting Steph and she bailed on them. Okay. What do you think happens, and I'm going to say this to you guys, what do you think happens when wrestlers, find an opportunity to go make themselves some money? Shit happens. At the end of the day, she wanted out. She's been talking for a minute wanting to be out of CMLL and New Japan. They weren't paying her the money that she was owed or deserved. And she took a bag full of money with WWE. Again, I don't know what you're upset over, but that's just how wrestling works. Wrestlers find a prime opportunity. They're going to go off and do what they feel is right for them, and they're going to take a bag full of cash. I don't understand what's wrong with that. I don't see what the issue is with that. Should she have fulfilled her obligation? Sure. But at the end of the day, she wanted to make money. Money talks. If you have an opportunity to go to WWE or AEW, the 1 and 2 promotions in the United States, and make a bag full of money or a fistful of money, you're going to do so. And CMLL had a clause in their contract, which they need to go back and rework. And it states that wrestlers during their contract or close to their end date can go and get better offers from other companies. Or better yet, go and get better offers and see if CMLL and New Japan can match that. And CMLL and New Japan wasn't able to match that. And unfortunately, well, here we are. The latest events both. She has shown she cannot be trusted in the future. Yes, she can. She went out and got a bag full of money, just like Mercedes Moné did. Mercedes Moné basically did the same thing. Left WWE in shambles and went off and did other things. It happens every day. Guys, this shit happens every fucking day when it comes to wrestling. Wrestlers are going to go get the best opportunity for them. A bag full of money. Am I going to be mad about CJ Perry leaving AEW to possibly go back to WWE or TNA? No, hell no. Or MLW or any of these promotions? No, hell no. Why? AEW didn't really utilize her like that. And the time she did, she was injured. She had 3 different surgeries on her one finger because of infections and shit. So she was a bust, a glorified bust. So yeah, I'm all about wrestlers getting a bag full of money when they can get it. You know what I mean? Like, stop crying. That's what this is about. This comment here is about her not fulfilling her obligations. WWE didn't like Ospreay and Okada, but the best way she did it is not to spin. It shows she can't be trusted. Blunt them. Again, or burnt them. Learn how to spell, please. Like, seriously, learn how to spell. If you're going to come into my comment section, learn how to spell, please. And thank you. And it's not me being mean or anything. It's me just taking a hot take here. So what you're saying is she should have took less money, stayed with the company, and got fucked over? If I have an opportunity to go live my dream and make a shit ton of money and be the top of my class, I'm going to do that. Sorry to tell you that. Money talks. I'm going to do what's best for me, my family, and my situation. That's in anything. So that's what Stephanie Vaquer did. What are you upset over? This comment right here, I don't see what you're mad about. What, she needs to be honorable? She needs to live by the sword, die by the sword, and go do this, that, and the third? NBA players do it all the time, homie. My dude, NBA, NFL players do it all the time. Sorry to tell you, if you can go make money somewhere else and do it to the best of your abilities, people are going to go somewhere else for their money and their time and their pleasure. I don't know why people are so mad about her. Like, what, she need to have some loyalty to fucking New Japan? New Japan's been losing talent left and right lately. Why? Because they did these stupid contracts. CMLL's losing people is because they made these stupid contracts. Maybe New Japan and CMLL need to reevaluate how they issue contracts. Maybe they need to change their clauses in their contract so they can keep their talent. You know who else had that problem? NWA did. NWA put stupid things in their contract and people walked off. Look at Camille. Camille probably will walk into AEW most likely. So stop this shit. Stop these kind of comments. Like, she had no allegiance to these companies. And there's going to be a reason why she walked out of both of these companies and got stripped of titles. There's got to be some type of drama. Like, she just doesn't show back in Heatwave last weekend and then signs a fresh dotted contract with WWE. And for the people that are upset over her not signing with fucking AEW, here's real talk. Real fucking talk to you. What is AEW attached to? New Japan, CMLL. She would still have to work with the two companies that she didn't want to work for. Obviously, it shows. Obviously, it damn well shows. You can't have your cake and eat it all at once. She wasn't going to go to AEW. She was in WWE's training facility for a couple of, about two different, she was trying to get on the rosters twice over. So WWE knew what they were getting themselves into. I'm not surprised. And they got the big three right now. And I'm not surprised. Julia wasn't going to sign with AEW either. So, like, not everybody has to go to AEW. Like, just because Tony Khan has a lot of money doesn't mean fucking wrestlers have to go there. Honestly, it's best for what their situation is. That's another thing that I don't understand about the wrestling community. It's best for their situation. If Jordynne Grace signs at the end of the year, Jordynne Grace's contract's not at the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Her contract is literally still slated for January, February. So if she did sign with WWE, it would probably be near Royal Rumble season. I think Royal Rumble season, or thanks for that, homie. Royal Rumble season or WrestleMania season. So it'll be right around there if she does. So Jordynne Grace, they'll have the 4 horsewomen. I wouldn't go that far. I would say they would have the big 4, like the 4 towers. I would say like it would be like the Miami Heat for NXT. I wouldn't go that far, but WWE's in a good spot with women's talent. And here's the thing, and I'm going to say this to you guys real quick. I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm going to be very, very honest with you guys, right? And here's me being honest with you folks. You didn't think Triple H was going to let his pride possession in Sasha Banks just leave the company for buku money and they couldn't match it? No. he's going to do is he's going to replace talent. He's always been known for that. Like, I'm sorry to tell you guys this, but wake up and smell the coffee. Triple H is like a general manager for like an NBA team. He's going to restock. Him and Nick Khan are very methodical. And you got to understand how WWE works. They're a machine. They're a machine. Thanks for all the subscribers. I think that's going off. Let me do that. Let me turn that off. Let me turn that off for a second so I don't have to hear all that noise coming through. Oh, Jesus. Notification-wise, can I just turn the sounds off on this? Sound. Can we? Yeah. Audio control. Yes. Let me see here under alerts. Hold on. Fuck, it's not gonna let me. But I think you guys got to understand that. Like, I don't think a lot of you understand how business works. And within my community, you guys are just excited for whatever's happening. And I think you guys listen to what I have to say sometimes, and then you just spare off narratives and in my comment section sometimes. And I'm going to be honest with you folks. Like, Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Nick Khan are always looking. And you got to look at the staff of NXT that signed these talents. You got Big E down there. You got Undertaker down there to a certain extent. You have Tyler Breeze. You have Sean Spears now on board. These are coaches and trainers. You got CM Punk down there. You got excellent minds doing excellent things and signing talent. There's a difference between AEW and WWE, and I've said this on the record. And this is not me fanboying. This is not me championing for any product. But when you have a farm system in place, it's going to be an attractive offer, especially for people that haven't wrestled. Especially these NIT talents that are coming in that WWE is putting a lot into, and it's panning out. Look at Tiffany Stratton. Look at Sirocco. Look at if you want to go that far, look at these talents. Look at these talents that are coming from the gymnastic U.S. team that have been training for years. They're now be coming into the WWE system. Juicy Core Jade. You guys got to understand, like these talents they're bringing in, it's very, very smart. It's very, very smart of what WWE is doing. WWE has a farm system where AEW has to go to the independent scene and pick off talent. But here's the but, though. Ring of Honor, which nobody watches, and I'm going to say this over and over again, nobody watches this, but they have some upcoming talent over at the Renegade Twins are over there doing amazing things. Sky Blue's been homing her craft for a while. Billy Starks. Nobody talks about this. Athena's been helping these women doing amazing things over at Ring of Honor, but nobody talks about this shit. And then you get comments in my comment section of AEW is full of nutty droppers and pieces of shit. It's like, okay, all right, great. You don't watch all the products. You're a casual fan. You're casual like. You watch what appeals to you and what narratives appeal to you. Meanwhile, I watch all the shows because I review most of the shows. And I watch most, like for instance, I watched TNA this week and I couldn't get to doing a review. I really enjoyed it. They're featuring NXT talent over there that's not being featured on main NXT television. It's a win for TNA first and foremost. It's a win for NXT. It's a win for both companies, and TNA's viewership's going up because of it. So you got to put it in that. You got to put that in your pipe and smoke it. So like when I get comments like this makes me sad because obviously you're a half glass full. And you want to blame everything else on the wrestler. She can't be trusted, this, that, and the third. That's probably why I get the dislikes. Like, no, she went and got a bag full of money. Stephanie Vaquer went and got a bag full of money. And I'm sorry that that's not what you want to hear, but that's the truth. That's what NBA players do all the time. Did I get mad when Caruso for my Lakers? I'm a diehard Lakers fan. Did I get mad when Caruso signed with the Bulls for millions of dollars? Fuck no, I didn't. I was happy for him because the Lakers couldn't give him what he was looking for. I didn't even realize they signed Delta. Yeah, they went out of their way into this comment here. Yeah, they went out of their way and they signed Delta. Delta was a quiet signing, actually, in fact. I think Delta, if they do it right, they build her up right, she could be a better Rhea Ripley, to be honest. I think she could be a tier up. And then somebody was talking about Stephanie Vaquer not being this, that, and the third. Look, Stephanie Vaquer do not ever compare her to a Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is she'll go down as one of the greatest to do it next to, you know what I mean? I know people don't want to hear that, but she will go down as one of the greatest. However you want to slice and dice that. Most casual fans have her in that greatest of categories for the new generation of stuff. So in this women's revolution shit, you're going to put her, Becky Lynch, probably Bayley, and you're probably going to put in there Sasha Banks one way or another. However you slice it and dice that. I know people don't want to hear that from me, and I know people don't want to, want to hear that from me, but that's going to be your greatest of all time. Then you got the Attitude Era of greatest of all time, with Lita and Trish and Sable and Sunny, and we can go on, at the end of the day. But this right here, I do agree with. So she is going to be a step above Rhea Ripley, I think, in my opinion. The only ones that speak good English is going to be aka the Four Horsewomen. They will give them a title run, aka Asuka, Io Sky, and won't ever be top tier level. Actually, Asuka's top tier level. Io Sky has been featured in Miss Money in the Bank and won it. And has won the title multiple times in NXT. What are you on about? Asuka has been tag team champion. They're talking about bringing Intercontinental and U.S. titles to the women's division on both sides. I could see Asuka being Intercontinental beginning champion starting out when she comes off an injury. Asuka's good shit. Like again, Asuka has been on the top of the mountain. WWE, she got her when she was on that undefeated streak. Triple H, because Vince McMahon didn't want her coming in being undefeated, they had her relinquish the title, and then right off the rip, they had her lose to Charlotte Flair. That's what happened there. Like, I don't won't ever be on the top. They've been on the top. Guys, Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane have been on Triple H. These are Triple H's babies. Like, come on now. Come on. They've been on the top. Kairi Sane really hasn't. Kairi Sane, since she's been back, has not mounted to anything. She's not a needle pusher she once was. The Pirate Princess is doing these things that I just go, what are we doing? They will be eventually. They already are. Guys, watch wrestling. Seriously. Like, these comments hurt my head. Like, guys, seriously. Seriously, this right here, these are casual, obviously casual comments. I'm just pointing them out because Asuka literally was pushed to the moon and back early on. And then you got people thumbing this up. No, Asuka was being pushed. I could tell you many times. She's been multi-time women's champion, tag team champion. Come on, she's been on the top. Literally. And if you hear Corey Graves and you hear all these people, they need her. They talk about this on air. Thank you for the information. It looks like the landscape of WWE is evolving, and that's awesome. It's going to be a wild ride to see who WWE signs next. Yeah, exactly. I agree with this comment right here. I definitely 100% agree with. It's going to be very interesting this next upcoming year what WWE does and what other promotions are doing. Like NWA yesterday announced they just signed up-and-coming talent. The Von Erichs supposedly have an ink on paper deal with AEW. They're just waiting to be debuted. Mansoor and Mace and what's his name are all now in AEW. They're about to have a feud with the Acclaim over on Ring of Honor. It's perfect. I would love to see the wrestling companies get a TV deal and watch all different types of wrestling. Yeah, of course. Or all different wrestling. Yeah, of course. I would like to see NWA be on actual CW, but they fucked that shit up, Parkour. They're on the app, though. Honestly, I can't wait to see 3 different ladies on Raw or SmackDown. Hell, I might start watching. You should be watching NXT. This is the first comment I read when I woke up out of bed. Honestly, you should be watching NXT. I don't know why you're sleeping on NXT. A lot of you sleep on NXT. I don't understand why you guys do. You guys, most of you sleep on NXT. For instance, it just boggles my mind how many of you sleep on NXT to begin with. You guys like Roxanne Perez, Slu Rocco, Thea Hale, Paxley. You guys are sleeping on good Ethan Page, Boundaway, you guys, Trick Williams. You guys are sleeping on some good shit on NXT. Joe Henry, like, guys, NXT and TNA, like, what are you guys doing? Like, the Rascals are back. Like, you guys are missing out on some good NXT shit. A lot of you don't watch it because you guys watch the main shows. You guys only watch SmackDown, Raw, and Dynamite. You don't watch. I have friends that will sit here and bitch, for real, bitch about everything in the kitchen sink. But when I ask them, what shows are you watching? Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite. I'm like, okay, you don't see storylines. Do you watch Ring of Honor? No, I don't watch Ring of Honor because it's, it's under a paywall. But you can go out and go find it. Oh, I don't have time for that. And then I hear about Speed. Oh, I don't have time for that. But it's on Twitter. Oh, but I don't have time for that. Oh, it's like, but you can moan and groan and say it's a bunch of waste of time and how the ratings are everything. Okay, I see you. So you're willing to complain like a Karen and a Jeffrey, but you're not willing to go watch the other products and actually watch storylines progress. Yeah. May have another. The future of the NXT, William Vaquer, Julia, Delta, see you in October. A lot of people are saying that. And you know what? You ain't wrong. Triple H is the man. And then Shawn Michaels is the man. They know what they want. You add Roxanne Perez into that, Core, Jada coming off injury, you're going to have a stacked NXT women's roster. That's a fact. See, a lot of people were mad because Triple H didn't sign Sasha Banks. He doesn't need a Sasha Banks. He could build a Sasha Banks. Let's be real here as wrestling fans. He can build within. He doesn't need Monet's stock just went down by all these signings because, again, it just shows. I don't see Monet coming back to WWE now. I really don't. I see her staying like a Danielson, like an Adam Copeland. I don't see her going anywhere because she's not going to get the same money. She's not valued like that. And I've been saying this for a minute. Like a lot of people, Sasha Banks coming back to WWE. She's going to retire. I don't think so now. They don't need her. And what would they do? Okay, so like when she does come back in 3 years' time, you got Stephanie Vaquer that's probably up on the main roster. You're probably going to have Julia up on the main roster at that time. And you're going to have this, that, and the third. She's not going to fit. I feel the same way about Becky Lynch now. There's too much good talent that's on the upswing going to be moved up to the main roster. I just don't see Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch will be somewhere else. I just have this sinking feeling. It's kind of like an Adam Copeland situation. Like Adam Copeland, when he came back to Edge, they really didn't have anything for him. And Triple H even said Triple H said that in media scrums. Like they didn't really have anything for him. And he really wasn't going to go up and win titles and go up the card when they had other people that are younger that could drive the company. And I know that's what people don't want to hear from me. It's just how business works. The younger person is going to get pushed before an older person. Unless you're iconic like Sting, and then that's a different situation, and that's a legendary status. Edge hasn't gotten there yet. I think he will eventually when he's all said and done with his career. And yeah, and before somebody tells me, oh my God, how do you say that when he's up there with John Cena? John Cena was higher up than him, to be honest. If we're going to talk money-wise, selling-wise, it's always been that way with that. People was butthurt when Will Ospreay signed with AEW. Yeah, that's true. That's a shadow of a doubt fact. A lot of people were upset over Will Ospreay picking AEW over WWE, but people didn't look that he had check boxes that he wanted checked before signing with companies. He wanted his family to be taken care of, which WWE can't do for him. he's going to be on the road more than he can count. He wanted to be full-time but still have time down with his family. That's why you see him more on Dynamite at times than you do on Collision. So it makes sense here. And then you got this guy, Vegeta Lover 92. This guy coming in and goes, because he can be great but not there. He's doing great things in AEW, dude. I want to ask, stop the fanboying. Stop championing for our company. Take your fanboy out of it. I love how you guys, I'm reading these comments because this is just proving my point, what I said in my video. A lot of you champion for products, but you don't watch other products. There's good wrestling on every single product out there if you watch it. I don't champion for any. I get called a shill because I praise one company and then I praise another and then I praise this company to the right. And I get called, I get called an indie shield, and I get called an AEW shill. Then I'll get called this. And then I have friends that will literally not watch any of the shows and then scream at Tony Khan saying he's a piece of this, piece of that. And then I have people on the other side that will scream at Triple H saying he's this, that, and the third. I think these are all the comments, and then I haven't responded to. Let's see. Held for review. There's no held from reviews. I mean, these are just all the comments that I have. So this one, which started out why I wanted to do this part of the section of my review of SmackDown here with talking about Stephanie Vaquer was, okay, no, I don't agree with this. She's not a Charlotte Flair. She'll never be a Charlotte Flair. She's a step-up version if you want to go there. I would honestly tell you of Sasha Banks. I would say a step-up version of Ivelisse. I would say that. But Charlotte Flair, no. I wouldn't go that far. Charlotte Flair is in a different lane, different avenue of her own. Charlotte Flair is literally the head honcho of the women's division. When she comes back, hopefully she changes her move set and she doesn't do the high flying anymore and kind of just keeps it to the ground and pound. Because that's how she got hurt, by botching a move. I respect her struggles and her dream to be in WWE superstar, but WWE are definitely making the female roster the best to compete in their women's division than AEW's jobbers. I don't know why people say that AEW has jobbers. Let me tell you this, and this is me telling you guys this, right? Chris Jericho, when he came in, he was on the top. He wasn't a jobber. Jon Moxley has not been a jobber. Adam Copeland is not a jobber. Let's call it for what it is. Christian Cage, he's been in doing amazing things. He's been doing the best work of his career in AEW. El Idolo, they didn't know what they were doing with him. Quite frankly, they didn't know what they had. They didn't know what they were doing. Keith Lee's been hurt. CJ Perry didn't pan out. Really just did not pan out. Leo Rush, he's back. He's in Ring of Honor right now, trying to reprove himself. He wants to be on the AEW roster. What time will tell. We will see. Who else? Claudio's been on the top. He won the Ring of Honor Redesign Championship, and he's been heavily featured. Now he's putting over talent. Samoa Joe's been in a champion. He's been multi-time TV television champion, TNT champion. I don't know why you're calling these people jobbers. Monet just is an ex-WWE person that's won 2 belts. He ain't no jobber. It's just, unfortunately, as you're finding out, there was reasons why these people got released. They weren't the needle pushers as they once were when they first came into WWE. And then it shows in AEW, and Tony Khan is doing nothing to push these people. There's no oh my God, I got to get up out of my seat and say CEO, CEO. You know what I mean? So that's what's happening. Your comment is flawed. WWE washed up wrestlers to boost more of their egos. That's not true. That's not true. It's actually the reverse. If you want to go there, they signed CM Punk for the Elite basically to cry and throw their egos around, and that's why CM Punk's not around. CM Punk would have still been in AEW if it wasn't for the Elite not wanting to work with them and their egos. It's actually the reverse. And let's talk about Danielson. If you want to go there, Danielson's about to win that world heavyweight title from Swerve Strickland. If you want to go there, they'll probably put it on him anyway at Swerve's expense. Let's see. Professional type. Another female talent is Mega Rain, the Magnus, and not afraid to wrestle men when WWE needs to sign her, and new attitude era, new female attitude era. I don't even know what you're on about. And Triple H has been on the record about mixed tag. He's not like a big fan of them. And he said, and even Tony Khan has been they're starting to come around to it, but they're not really the biggest fan of it. So again, different times. You guys got to understand, Vince McMahon was different animal than Triple H. Triple H is booking for hardcore and casuals. And the reason WWE is succeeding at what they're doing is because they're signing the talents that people want to see. Where AEW, on the other hand, is signing major talents, but they are doing nothing with them. They're not pushing the needle. They're not pushing a thread. They're not doing very much. It's like it'd be like the New York Yankees going, or the LA Dodgers signing so many people and not promoting. If you're not promoting, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to give a fuck. And that's what's happening. Needs to understand they can't beat WWE. I think Tony Khan succeeded that. But you need to understand something. They are like number 3 in the world in combat sports right now. They are number 3 by Forbes. They are making their money hand over fist. They're valued at $2.3 billion. You got to understand that too. No matter what, if they get a deal with WBD for streaming rights and Ring of Honor gets put over there, no matter what, there's going to be other TV places wanting them. Guarantee Amazon. I guarantee FSX has talked about it. Fox has talked about it, taking them on. So that's been rumored and speculated, and there's other places that, that want wrestling. So it's not just WBD. WBD needs them more than they need that the AEW needs them. WBD is about to lose the NBA, so they need anything they can get their hands on to make ad revenue money to keep them afloat. That's why you're going to see them sign more college football stuff. That's why you're going to see them sign more NHL stuff. That's why you're going to see them try to sign other sports organizations that range views. They're going to have to. Or they shove the money out and they get the C-tier NBA deal is what it is, but it looks like night by night, day by day, that's going to go to NBC. And can't blame NBC because NBC wants that. NBC's been trying to bolster their sports stuff and stuff like that. So they have a long history of, WWE, but here's the thing. Your comment is flawed. WWE's been around for almost 100 years. You need to understand that WWE's almost been around for 100 years, and that's not even before that. So you need to realize that WWE's been around a lot longer. That's like, I was telling a friend about your comment, Mr. Cisco Gomez 73. I'm not bad-mouthing your comment or anything. It's just I'm telling you, my dude, that would be like how can I say this? It would be like the UFL trying to stack up to the NFL. That's never going to happen. And the reason AEW does what AEW does is because they're trying to get viewership. They're trying to get a TV deal. The reason they flash their shit on television, Ring of Honor wise, they're trying to get Warner BD or Warner Brothers Discovery to be interested in the byproduct. When it's all said and done, I think they're going to be on Warner BD. They're going to get not the money they're expecting, but they will get the money that they think they're owed. So you take that with a grain. You take that with the biggest grain of salt that you want to take that with. You don't have to agree with everything that I'm saying. I don't expect people to be agreeing with me. But at the end of the day, that's just how wrestling is. Wrestlers come and go. I'm sorry, wrestlers come and go all the time in wrestling. And I'm sorry to say this to people. And if you don't want to hear the truth, then that's fine. Wrestlers come and go. Stephanie Vaquer, if you're upset at her going and signing with WWE and not AEW and not remotely finishing her obligation dates, well, again, look at the NBA. Look at how many NBA. Look at LeBron James doing the decision. Look at all these people that do these things. It's all about money. It's all about what benefits their family, what benefits them at the end of the day. You gotta put that in your pipe and smoke that. You gotta understand that. She was getting paid shit. I guarantee it. She has been on the record and said before all of it was down that she wasn't happy what she was getting paid. She wanted to be paid more. They didn't. So now she's in WWE. And when she was going to go to AEW, no. Why? Who are they attached to? New Japan Pro Wrestling and CMLL. They're two partners. You think she was going to stay in AEW and go work for those two other companies? No. Did she want to work out a deal with them to not perform over there? No. And I guarantee if she did, CMLL and New Japan would probably hold her to holding those belts. And she probably just wanted to do her own thing. What's wrong with that? I don't see the problem with that. Take the fanboy out of it. And I'm so sick of it. Wrestlers need to make their money. What? Listen, I'll make you an assumption, and I'm just putting things in the ether. This is fantasy booking, so fantasy booking time. What if Becky Lynch goes over to AEW and takes a bag full of money? You gonna be pissed that she's not over in WWE doing her thing? Like, let's be real. Let's be happy for the wrestler. Stop the bullshit and let's just be happy for the wrestler. If Sheamus goes over to AEW, hypothetically, because he hasn't signed a new deal, are you going to be pissed, kicking and screaming that this man decided, oh my God, to go over here? That's like the people that are upset over Ricochet. Like, sorry to tell you guys this, but Ricochet is not, like, to these AEW fans that are going crazy and bananas over it, and I'm not one of them, he's not going to be pushed like that. He'll probably be a tier above where he was in WWE. He'll have those 5-star matches, probably. But if you think he's going to be main eventer, world title, holding belts all the time, I don't think so. I think international champion, sure. Do I think TNT champion? Sure. You bet your ass. Maybe Ring of Honor champion. World heavyweight? No. They got a stacked lineup over for that. And Ricochet has promo skills. A lot of people count him out. He was cutting promos on Lucha Underground. Anyway, moving on. We're moving on. Enough with the comment section. Enough me going on about wrestling on a Saturday morning. But you guys all need to stop being this tribalist shit. Seriously, I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. I love all the subscribers that are coming in, hanging out with me, writing comments. But some of you that are watching that video, some of you, man, the tribalism, dude, stop it. It hurts my head. It really hurts my head. Like, I agree with like probably 50% of that comment section, but I don't agree with everything because, guys, I watch everything. And sleeping on products is just ignorant to me. You shouldn't be sleeping on NXT, period. NXT has good shit. And, you know, now with the Rascals being part of it, Joe Henry being part of it, Frankie Kazarian to a certain extent, Trick Williams, All Ego Ethan Page doing his thing. I dig a lot of you sleep on NXT, and they're going to be on the CW. So what's the excuse you can't watch it? Because you can get it over air. You don't even need a cable service for it. And you can get it on the app. So what conversation are we having that you can't watch NXT? Why? Because it's not main roster shit? Because why? Because it's in the Performance Center? Like, does it have to be filled with 24,000 people in an arena for you to watch it? Oh, why? Because it doesn't get the sexy views as on the rating scale because it has to be a certain rating for you? Man, boy, I love people that talk about ratings and people in the audience all the time. It's like, that's why you don't watch the show? That's kind of petty. That's petty. If you have to sit back and go, there's a section not full of people and I can't watch that because of it, and all you do is bitch, moan, and groan, that's kind of petty. A lot of people that watch AEW do that. It's very petty. It's absolutely petty and absurd to me. It's like, People spend more time moaning and groaning about what TK's got to say and do than watching the show. I used to do watch-alongs with groups of people, and all they would do is complain. And then talk about old days of AEW. It's like, the old days are done. Guys, nothing's going to stay, like, brands are going to progress, good or bad, however you slice and dice that. Does Pepsi have to stay Pepsi? No. Does Coke have to stay Coke? No. Like Taco Bell, every company has to progress eventually or they lose sales. AEW is going through a spurt right now, and they're trying to fix themselves. They brought in Dr. Britt Baker. She's been gone for a year and a half. Why? Strokes, injuries. Jamie Hayter just had a physical. Maybe coming back sooner than later. Adam Copeland's going to come off an injury from a tibia injury. Or, sorry, Adam Copeland, I should say. Adam Cole's coming off an injury. AEW is going to heat up eventually. Just not today. Another big get before I get into my SmackDown review. Another get that WWE is going to get, which I think is going to be amazing if they do, and if the rumor and speculations are true. The Motor Machine Guns. Alex Shelley. Chris Sabin. If they grab them for NXT, that's just another big get for WWE. They deserve to be there. Either them or AEW can get a big payday. They've been TNA lifers for the longest. They deserve a big payday, a big bag full of money. And I think they could do an amazing things in WWE. I don't care what company they go to. Anyway, let's move forward and get out of this talking about wrestling shit, because somebody's going to say, oh, you're talking about your comment section. Brr, brr, brr. No, I'm just responding because there's so many comments, and, you know, I don't want to write paragraphs. I've done that before. Okay. All right. SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into what you guys are here for. SmackDown, we're going to talk about it. The Bloodline. Solo Sikoa puts me to sleep once again last night. He ain't good. His ring, it wasn't just me that said this. There's been people in my chats that have said Solo Sikoa is garbage. Why are they giving this man, like, he ain't no tribal chief. He's actually the B-brand version of Roman Reigns. And you know what? You ain't wrong. His bloodline, Jacob Fatu's good shit, and the Gorillas of Destiny are good shit. Honestly, I would have them as a 3-team over Solo. Solo needs a manager. He can't speak on the mic. He can't do promos. And it shows. He's garbage. He can't even spear somebody properly. And you want him to go after... Cody's going to have to put in the effort in that match just to keep that match alive. So we had a Miss Money in the Bank coming out. Tiffany Stratton. Great shit. Tiffany is great shit. Guys, this is stuff that you guys should pay attention. This is why you should watch NXT. Most people didn't pick up on Tiffany Stratton. Now a lot of you are. A lot of you are saying she puts on good shit. She was putting on good shit in NXT, but none of you watched it. Because casual fans don't watch NXT. Casual fans don't watch Ring of Honor. But when you see these talents first time debuting, you folks go, oh my God, it's great shit. We're panning out. Yeah, that's why. Because you guys don't watch the half. You guys are casuals. It's nothing wrong about that. It's just I love how casual fans, you can't have it both ways. If you don't watch the shows, you can't talk about them. That would be like me, right? Because I've never had Chick-fil-A, right, in my life. That would be like me going and saying, oh, I ate Chick-fil-A. It's the greatest thing on earth. Jesus chicken is great. When I've never had it. That would be ignorant. It would be so ignorant of me to say. That would be like me eating at this restaurant and saying I've ate it when I didn't. It'd be wrong of me. A lot of you that sit here and now are recognizing Tiffany Stratton should have been watching NXT. That's why I tell you to watch NXT. I would say the next person that's going to come up from the NXT roster, that's going to be a big splash. I'm already going to tell you this, Roxanne Perez. She's doing the best work of her career in NXT right now. Solo Sikoa, going back to Tiffany Stratton, she cut a promo on Bayley saying how she's the missing Money in the Bank and how she was better than, Trish Stratus and stuff like that, and how she's going to show everybody how it's Tiffy time. I think Tiffany Stratton will be your next champion. Excuse me. I think, to be personally honest with you, she has put in the work and the time, and she has been going over kind of with the audience. Love her, hate her, whatever, but she's good shit, and that's just a fact. Again, Bayley, I think her time's coming to an end as much as I think Damian Priest's stuff is coming to an end. I think the Ring General will be your new champion. It's time. And I'm okay with Bayley losing the title. Or they could have Bayley and they could have the situation like they did with Drew McIntyre, have her cash in and lose, which I think would be so stupid. Because you kind of have belt Tiffany Stratton. She had a little Money in the Bank celebration with career highlight reels, things like that. And then, Bayley came out, and you got to give it to Bayley. Like, I know Bayley is like the third, fourth option within the horsewomen, but when she comes out now, she's cutting promos, and they're devastating. It was funny, like she was doing the role model gimmick. She's kind of a tweener, kind of, and she was kind of doing last night kind of the role model stuff. And to be honest with you, I was kind of happy about that. And laying it into Nia Jax that she has beat Nia Jax before. Nick Aldis and Chelsea Green. That shit was funny all night long. Chelsea Green with the neck brace, man. Chelsea Green is winning me over as this Karen gimmick. I didn't like it at first. Now I'm starting to like it. And, man, the sex appeal. I'm just saying. That sex appeal has been pretty hot. I'm just saying. So all night with Piper Niven demanding stuff from Nick Aldis. Back to the Bayley segment. Michin came out with a kendo stick. They had a match. Nia Jax basically squashed her ass, which I thought was kind of hot. Not going to lie. Michin's been getting beat on NXT and whatnot. Pretty much a glorified performance enhanced talent. Where Michin should be back on TNA, to be honest with you. I think Michin should be over on TNA. She was better there than she is on the main roster right now. She's losing a lot. Bretto and Angel Garza defeat Paulo Cruz and Baron Corbin. I could care less about this match. Baron Corbin is, again, he has been saying that he is a wrestler that's basically a performance-enhancing talent. And Apollo Crews, where have you been in all like, but you want to talk about somebody that's been KIA all over everything, man, Apollo Crews. Like, Apollo Crews, what have they been doing with him? Like, you want to talk, people talk about AEW not showing talent. Apollo Crews has not been shown at all. And Baron Corbin, I don't know what the hell they're doing with them, but they had him lose last night in the most cheapest way. And a couple of botches in that match, too. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? LA Knight coming out. This is what kind of, between the Tiffany Stratton stuff and this picked up the night for me. LA Knight needs the U.S. title. You have pushed this guy to the moon and back. You need him to win the title at this point. You have built this man way too far to the heavens and back. And he's a fan favorite. You guys got to pull the trigger. He's not getting any younger. He has to win this. Hopefully he does. Logan Paul, there was a stat. He's only defended the title 4 times in like 2 years since winning the belt. Or in the last year. Like in major pay-per-views, not really around shows. So hopefully he gets and signs and does the thing. I know he's getting booed for all the CoffeeZilla shit and whatnot, so it's going to be great. See him get booed even more. Blair Davenport. This is another thing that I didn't understand with this. Like, they had her get beat real quick about get beat by Naomi, and I didn't understand that. That the match was just awful to me. You should have had her come in and just savagely beat Naomi. Naomi is becoming a performance enhancement talent, and I know people don't want to hear that. Naomi's not going to be like your main event. When they do throw a U.S. title in the women's division or an Intercontinental. I could see her with it, but I just don't ever see her being back at the main event level as she once was. Naomi defeating Blair Davenport was ridiculous to me. It should have been the other way around. And then Blair Davenport taking her, handshaking, and then taking her out after Chelsea Green came by, which is good shit. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but Jade should be turning on Bianca Belair at this point. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but Jade is far better right now, and she needs to be further along than she is. That's just my personal opinion. I think the EST's holding her back, and I even think Naomi's holding her back. Like, literally, you signed Jade and made her into larger than light, had her in the finale of Royal Rumble. At this point, you got to have her, like, literally turn heel at this point. I think it would be best for business, and give her a manager. You know, stuff like that. DIY retained the WWE Tag Team Champion, gets A-Town Down Under. Good stuff. Good stuff. DIY should have been champion a long time ago in WWE. They should have been holding titles long time ago. You don't have them lose those titles. You don't have them lose until WrestleMania. That's the way I see it. Jacob Fatu ran down the tag team champions and seemingly set up for a tag team title win from himself and Solo Sikoa. Losing at SummerSlam, Fatu laid out Ciampa with a BME and stunned absurd degree by the bloodline coming out. Solo Sikoa demand that the crowd acknowledge him, leading to a rundown. Beatdown, we want Roman chants, turning into Cody Rhodes coming out and getting pretty much beat down hardcore, and Randy Orton getting thrown through a table, and that was your show. That was just your show. And the bloodline pointing up in the sky going, we did something amazing, guys. We're amazing. We're amazing. No, Solo Sikoa ain't amazing. Solo Sikoa, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. He ain't no tribal chief. He boring. You hear the guy talk? He cut a promo earlier on SmackDown. And it's so bad. It's so bad. It's bad. He's like looking like a mafia guy. Like, it's bad. It's horrible. It's like, I want Roman Reigns on my television. Jacob Fatu is way better than Solo Sikoa. It's like, Jesus. So I have to give this show a score, and I want to get to game streaming and all that. I'm going to say 6.75. I'm going to give this a C. It wasn't the best show that I've ever seen in my world. I'm not a big fan of the Bloodline 2.0. I want my Roman back. It shows. Solo does not have those promo skills. You had John Cena put this man over. You've had many other big talents put Solo over. He has not panned out to me. I think he's 5 pegs down than Roman Reigns. And if this is the guy you're putting all the future in, yikes. It's just bad. It's awful. And it's not just me saying it. There's a lot of people now pointing out that his spears are bad. He has just a Samoan spike. Maybe a Alabama slam. A Samoan drop, maybe. A clothesline here and there. There's no moves with Solo Sikoa that I go, oh my God. It's devastating. When you watched Umaga, it was devastating. And the reason why Umaga was devastating because he had a manager that made it happen. And Solo needs a manager. He needs to get out of the bloodline. It's awful. It's not working for me. It's not like, it's not resonating with me. You're basically doing the same things as Roman Reigns was doing. It works for Roman. When it goes, it works for Roman fucking Reigns. Solo should be doing different things. What Solo should be doing is beating people up in the back, being a thug, being literally mafia. If you're going to build him like mafia, build him like the Don over in fucking NXT. Have him be at the table. Have it set up like mafia status. Have them be like an Italian mob family. The Hawaiian family. Do something different. But you're doing the same things as you were doing with Roman Reigns. It works. What made Roman Reigns special, he made it special. Solo doesn't make it special. I'm sorry. It's boring. It's cartoonic. It's awful. The man should be out the building. I'm sorry. This is what ruined SmackDown for me. This is why I get to see average. Is this man? You build your show around, and people are gonna call this cinema. People are gonna say this is movie type shit. No. Roman Reigns is a better actor. Solo didn't really have much time in NXT. He should have stayed in NXT and built his craft more. He's garbage. And you want to talk about, hey guys, on AEW The Learning Tree, let's talk about the Bloodline 2.0 being trash. What's saving it is the Guerrillas of Destiny and Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu should be the leader. Let's be real here. I don't go on rants often, but fucking Solo Sikoa is awful. Nothing you do with this man is going to make it better. John Cena put this fucker over at Crown Jewel, and this man has not progressed. The greatest of all time, as everybody says, put this man over. And for the life of me, has done nothing. Has done fucking nothing. He has 5 moves of doom at best. You're telling me this is going to be the future when Roman Reigns leaves and goes into acting? You kidding me? WWE's got problems on their hands. I'm sorry to tell you guys this. WWE has problems on their hands. I'm sorry. Filling up my drink real quick. I'm left speechless. I'm left dumbfounded. You're doing the same things, expecting the same results when it comes to Solo Sikoa. You're repeating what you did with the Bloodline 1.0. What's next? You're going to have the Guerrillas of Destiny turning around and leaving the Bloodline? Like, we going to re-pull that shit? What, Jacob Fatu is going to be the enforcer guy that goes whatever Solo Sikoa wants? They're just repeating what we already know with the first Bloodline. And supposedly Roman's not showing up at SummerSlam, and I hope he does, because this shit's not working. This shit is awful. If you want to talk about SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton and that whole beginning segment and Chelsea Green and LA Knight were the big 3 there, and then them selling AJ Styles and Io Sky stuff, which I think already happened, which I need to go watch. But you get the point. And Blair Davenport, like, that kind of stuff, was your top stuff. Out in Solo Sikoa, like, you had Randy Orton come and go, well, gee willikers, it's like dad talking to his son. Son, I just want to let you know that we're going to do this tonight, and I got your back, son. It's like, it's bad. I feel like they're putting everything on Raw, and it's the reverse. It used to be everything on SmackDown, and then it's now SmackDown's relegated to a B show. I'm now more interested in Raw than I am in SmackDown because of the storylines. Because they seem like they have a sense of urgency with Raw. And then somebody's going to tell me that's because they're putting it on Netflix next year. Then it's going to be your A show, and SmackDown's going to be your B show because it's going to be on USA and blah, 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 this and blah, that. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I wish both shows would complement each other. Both shows should be great. Good shit every week. This Bloodline. It's like having a sequel to a movie that's not good. That's what this is. It's like watching Beverly Hills Cop 3 all over again, and it's awful. It doesn't work. Let me know when I'm telling lies here. You can't defend this shit. Solo Sikoa is like me Borg. Me talk, me Borg. It's like I'm watching the Mooney Knights on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Come in here and tell your bounce ways. It's like, it's awful. It's awful. Meanwhile, the Mooney Knights were better on Aqua Teen Hunger Force and they were more entertaining. I'd rather watch, honestly, I'm going to be real with you, and I don't mean to be mean to Solo Sikoa. When I watch Solo Sikoa, I'd rather go watch paint dry. I seriously would. I'd rather watch go paint dry. I would rather go do other things. I would rather go take a piss break than listen to him. Because the minutes I listen to him, it doesn't make me go, "Whoo, the Bloodline 2.0 is great shit. Oh my God, I have to watch that shit." No, I'm not interested. You bore me. Now, Bayley and Nia Jax and the Chelsea Green and all that last night, great shit. That's how Tiffany Stratton carrying the load at the very beginning of the show. I'm cool with that. Cody Rhodes has become ice cold to me. Like, you belt Cody Rhodes to be this dominating guy, the face of the face that runs the place, and he's become ice cold. Cody Rhodes hasn't done anything with that championship that I go, oh my God. Wow, that's breathtaking. When Roman Reigns came out, and I'm sorry, this is your difference in quality. When Roman Reigns comes out, it meant something. When he came out every 3 months or every 2 or 3 months, it meant something. Now I understand why that was. It makes me appreciate Roman Reigns just as much as Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Sami Zayn has done nothing with the Intercontinental title for my taste. Braun Breaker should squash him, and I really hope that this next time around with Braun Breaker, they squash this motherfucker. Because Sami Zayn, I'm done with. He's no good. It's Rocky, like I've told you guys before. Dun 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 dun. I overcome you and I beat you. Me Borg, I beat you. It's like Rocky. Mickey, I'm gonna beat you. Or Mickey, don't die on me, Mickey. Adrian. Oh my God. I'm sorry I'm going on one about the bloodline, but God, it just pisses me off. And you got people in this community that are defending this shit. It's like Solo Sikoa is bloody awful. And go back and watch his Money in the Bank match. You can't tell me that spear was so bad. I'd rather go watch Samoa Joe do a fucking spear. Like, at least give Solo Sikoa a Coquita clutch for shit's sakes. Or a Rusev when he puts him in the STF, or a me goodness. The Motor Machine, are you talking Motor Machine Guns? I have no idea what that acronym is for. You talking Motor Machine Guns? Oh, the Motor Machine Guns. So the rumor has it they're looking like they're in talks with WWE now. Oh, you're good. It looks like they're speaking of it looks like they're in talks with WWE at the moment. Which I wouldn't be mad either way. AEW or them, and WWE, I wouldn't be mad either way. I just want them to get a bag full of money. I just want to see them get a bag full of money. Really. I wouldn't be mad either way. To be honest. 2 months ago, it looks like they were, yeah, it looks like they're going, looks like they're in talk with WWE. Yeah, pretty much that's what I'm reading, pretty much. That looks like they're in talks with WWE. Ricochet may not debut in AEW alone. Tony Khan saying that he's not done with free agency within the wrestling. I mean, so, you know, at the end of the day, I've been reading reports that fucking, I haven't reported on any of this stuff because I don't know if it's true or not. I just don't like to report rumors like that anymore, because once I report rumors, people think it's freaking factual. Like, for instance, Natalya going to AEW, is that real? Is that true? I mean, the other one, Ric Flair, like they're talking Ric Flair energy drink sponsorship. They're taking a step back. Is that true? Is that not true? I know Samoa Joe's filming for. Did you see Tony Khan's tweets last night? I did see a no, but I did see him talk about that he's got some big stuff happening. He's got some big stuff happening for, I think on Instagram. Let me read the next one. Let's see. To WWE is a big rumor. I still think AEW is in play, but Natalya re-signing to WWE. Well, the things is, I don't like to report on just, I tell you guys this. I don't like to report on rumors and speculation. I've done that before. Like, I'm being honest with you guys. I have before, and then a lot of you take it as fact. And I'm not trying, I try to state it. It's just speculation. PW is confirming the report. Natalya re-signed with WWE. Has she re-signed with WWE? Let's see here. Well, she did. Bringing this from Ringside News, so she has. Interesting. For those that are asking about Natalya, we have told she has locked in a new deal with the company. Okay. Because they had her all going to AEW because of big money. So let's see here. Wrestling, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. With WWE, I got you. Yeah, that happened in the last 2 hours. So that's a done deal. So that just happened in the last 2 hours. That's good. I'm happy for her in either way. No, but if that's that hasn't hit my that hasn't hit any of the boxes that I usually when it comes to new stuff. Did you hear concerning news about NXT last night? Supposedly they were recruiters in NXT that are also produce content and was recruits girls straight out of high school, which is weird. Well, it's not surprising. I mean, let me be honest with you. It's not surprising that WWE's starting to recruit people right out of high school at 18, 17. Not surprised. I'm not surprised by that. I mean, the military does. The military goes in right straight out of high school. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not very surprised. I'll tell you why that is. The military does. And WWE's doing what colleges do. And what they do is they give them a minor deal. I think that's what they were doing. They were signing people straight out of high school for a minor deal. And then what they do is they go to college. They take the money. They go to college. They do this, and this within whatever they're doing. And then they go and sign with WWE. I don't think that's a new thing. My guy. recruits girls straight out of high school. Yeah, that's been a thing. WWE's been doing that for a while. They've been doing that with college athletes too, right out of high school. I'm wondering, Dynamite being 250 shows, if Tony Khan's going to have a few surprises. That's why he tweeted last night. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan made an announcement, somewhat of a TV rights deal somewhere coming soon. He's been kind of saying that he's at the 1 yard line. Yeah, here's the article. This was done 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, they had an article saying that they were signing young talent out of high school, right out of high school, to kind of what they do with what colleges do with college athletes. They sign them to a small little deal, see if they pan out or not. They go to college, they do the things, and as they're going to college and studying and whatever they're doing, an NRT deal, whatever it is, and then they do performance center stuff within WWE. Besides a TV deal, I don't know if I'm not making any. It's me speculating, so don't quote me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Ricochet. I don't know. Who knows? I thought Natalya was going AEW because they were doing all this Owen Hart stuff for a while there, and the Owen family. So I thought for a minute there, the Hart family. I thought for a minute that she was going to go AEW. Because she said she wasn't signing to anybody, and then, But again, that's good. She signed with WWE. I hope she ends her career in WWE and does it properly and does the thing that she needs to do. I'm happy for her. To be honest with you guys, I'm not even mad over it. I find it great, and I'm happy for her. Two of these shows, Tony Khan's going to have a few surprises. Well, don't get your hopes up about Tony Khan. Don't get your hopes up about Tony Khan, because the last few times he's talked about bringing people in, it's not been that. He said he was bringing some people in at Forbidden Door. He had some big surprises for Forbidden Door, and he didn't do it. He says he pulls the trigger at certain things. This person being a free agent? Stay AEW or WWE? Well, she, from what I've seen from her and her stuff, Magnus. Hope I'm saying her name right. Magus? Hope I'm saying her name right. I butcher her name all the time. Apologize. Looking at my other monitor, and I'm looking at the person, so I know who I'm talking about. Making sure I'm talking about the right person. I could see her more WWE bound than AEW bound, though. And the reason I say this is because she fits more WWE. And that's just me being honest with you guys. Wasn't she part of the AEW? Wasn't she? Am I thinking the right person too? Wasn't she sent back to AEW or back to Stardom to practice her craft? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Tony Khan sent her back over there to hone her craft and shit. Because I've seen this person before too. She was in OVW, Al Snow's promotion. She was the OVW champion. She's been in World Wonder Stardom and a bunch of other places. So, and she was featured on the Netflix stuff too, I believe. So yeah, WWE for her. I would be all right with that. And the reason I say that because she fits the WWE mold. If we're going to be honest. Makes perfect sense and is going to be a great fit. Good for her. I'm a fan of hers, especially after Forbidden Door. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I've been a big fan of her since she was on the indie scene, and I've watched some of her stuff in CMLL. I haven't watched like years upon years of her stuff, but I've watched like the last 6 months to 8 months of her stuff, and she's been really good. And I think she'll pan very well. I think her, Julia, will do amazing things within AEW, or sorry, WWE. My bad. Who's the other one? I did state the other one. I think WWE has the big three going on. Yeah, I need to go watch that. Honestly, I need to go sit down and go watch it. I fell asleep because of the weather. This room got really hot. After I got done game streaming, it was freaking hot. Honestly. I think people need to calm the hell down when it comes to some of these comments, man, in my comment section, man. Some of you need to calm down. You know, seriously, need to calm down. Like, when it comes to be happy that wrestling's happening. Like, you know, to me, as I tell people, like, last night, from what I was reading, AJ Styles did a great job, and Io Sky did a great job last night. And from your comment here, Dream, it just seems like he had a great showing. And it looks like some of the NXT talent that's going to be over at Noah is going to be on Noah. Like, I think Brooks Jensen, I think it is. It's going to be over on what is it, on Noah's show. And you could thank Tony Khan. If we're going to speak real, let's be real here. You could thank Tony Khan for the Forbidden Doors being open, and Triple H is doing the same. It's great. It's a win-win for wrestling fans. Like, I don't understand why people get so upset. Like, the thing about Stephanie Vaquer, if you go there, and what I said earlier in this, and then I was reading my comments, because I found it wild that a lot of comments are like, oh, this, that, and the third. Well, who is AEW attached to? AEW is attached to CMLL. We had a WrestleMania match someday. I think that will be fantastic. I think that'll be very, very fantastic of a match. And you know what's funny? Somebody was trying to tell me that Io Sky, Asuka, and somebody else are not main event shit. In my comment section, I'm like, guys, do you guys not understand that Asuka was hauling ass and ruling ass on NXT? Then came up to the main roster because it was Vince McMahon regime. She got buried. Who did she go against right off the rip? Charlotte Flair, just to break her undefeated streak and it was just pretty much savage. And this guy trying to say Stephanie Vaquer is basically a Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair and Stephanie Vaquer have different movesets completely. Like, be a fan of wrestling, man. Like, if we're gonna sit here and have the conversation, like, wrestling's getting great. Look at NWA. NWA just signed a whole bunch of talent to their promotion recently. A lot of indie darlings over there. TNA's getting good. MLW just signed some talent. So, like, if we're talking about wrestling in general right now, it's getting good. All sides. But the problem is with CMLL and New Japan is, and this is, people hate on Mercedes too much. She makes stars of talent. She wrestles. Wrestles? Am I saying that right? Yeah. I agree with you. You know, like, but here's the thing, too. I also said this, too, in the beginning of the show. I said, Mercedes Vernaldo is not a needle pusher like she wants. Like, she's not a needle pusher like that. But that's not her fault. That's AEW's fault. AEW, for some reason, does not promote their stars properly. And they don't make them a big presence outside of, you only see that really with MJF and Jon Moxley. Really, outside of that, it's maybe Britt Baker to an extent. But you don't really see the bedazzle of Monet like that. And I think that's kind of a flaw of AEW. They need to do a little bit more of giving you a sense of purpose to why these wrestlers are there for and why. That's the one thing I will give WWE their credit. When they introduce people or when they bring somebody in, they make it important. They make it an importance of it. Where Monet really, he didn't because she was hurt. And by the time she got around, like, people were kind of done with it a little bit. But I will give I'm a Monet fan. So no matter what she does, I'm a fan nonetheless. I've been a fan since NXT days, early NXT's indie days for her. So I have with AEW a storyline progression of blowing stories too quick. Long term is what, I'm not disagreeing with you with that. I think Tony Khan booked for sometimes the hardcore fans sometimes. And I think, sometimes he should take a step back and just go, let it breathe. Just let it breathe. He did a great job with Sting this year. I'll be honest. Like, there was a beginning, middle, and end with Sting. Swerve Strickland, to an extent, he did. Now, he needs to do this consistently. Like last week with Dynamite this week, sorry. He did a great job with the women's stuff. But guess what? Reports came out that Peppermint and Marshall are booking that stuff. So when people say Tony Khan's doing every single orifice of the booking, yes, he has the final decisions, but he's giving up, he's delegating. Peppermint's been helping out with that. Was storytelling done right? Yes. Peppermint's doing a good job. Like, you're going to see Peppermint doing some good shit. Like, also, I didn't even know this. Peppermint's been having some other says in AEW as far as booking goes. I guess she had a say in Risa. She's been working on the Danielson stuff, the storytelling behind Danielson. She's also been doing some of the stuff with, I guess she's been working with Adam Page in his starting out storyline, him coming back. So she's got her feelers and things, and so does Marshall. Like Marshall said, he's all driven into this whole role that he's in, and he's been helping with storylines. So there you go. And then you're going to add, supposedly Tony Khan said he's rechanging his staff a little bit. So I think Tony Khan's realizing that he needs to start building storylines to an extent and make these titles be pushed. Like, make these titles important. Like Pac, you saw some storyline. Pac's going to be going up kind of like a Danielson in a way. So I'm hoping the rest of this year, they got a lot of big pay-per-views coming up, and I really hope AEW does turn around. Mark Briscoe's amazing. She works with him, making him feel exactly. Yes, Mark Briscoe's good shit. Mark Briscoe reminds me. Every time I see a Mark Briscoe promo, okay, it reminds me so much of Scott Steiner in a lot of ways. That TNA promo, 2+2, when he's talking about Samoa Joe and he goes on. Oh my God. Like, I just want Mark Briscoe to do his own version of it in this like fast motion. That dude, it makes me fall out of my chair. He's very entertaining. He's just on the wrong, and I'm going to say this, and he's on the wrong show. I know they have him as Ring of Honor champion, and I get that, but he's on the wrong show. I'm sorry, but he's on the wrong show. He should be on our main television. He's that good. Another one that's up and coming that I really think that you guys are going to see next week, I think except Monet's open challenge, Billy Starks. I think Billy Starks is going to be an amazing thing. I think a lot of people sleep on Ring of Honor. And the reason why you see more Ring of Honor stuff being featured on AEW television because they're trying to get a TV rights deal for Ring of Honor. I could see Ring of Honor being featured on the Max app. I could. And it should be. I think $9.99 a month is a little bit egregious just to watch wrestling, to be honest. Should Willow leave right now? No, Willow should be doing what she's doing. She's got a blood feud going on right now with Chris Statlander. The women's division in AEW is heating up. The things is the other thing you got to realize too, that Jamie Hayter's on her way back. Jamie Hayter just went and got a physical or evaluation. I don't think we're going to see her. I don't think we're going to see her at All In. Maybe we'll see sightings of her, but I don't think she'll be back full wrestle. Yeah. Oh, Wardlow. Sorry. My bad. Read that wrong. My bad. Wardlow. Well, Wardlow has been on the bench with injuries for a while. And then he wasn't booked properly. He's been over at Ring of Honor. The man's been over at Ring of Honor if you guys haven't seen Ring of Honor. And he works better with an Adam Cole anyway. And I would rather him and Adam Cole have a feud. And no Adam Cole, you don't have Wardlow. That's the problem. Who's Wardlow going to feud with? MJF? I mean, we've been there, done that before. Will Ospreay, which is already in a pretty much a prominent storyline right now currently. Okada. I mean, you could do Okada and Wardlow. I mean, Ricky Starks has one foot out the door. I don't blame him. Well, right now, currently, he's in legal troubles right now. Ricky Starks, supposedly. With something in Canada. I have no idea what that's all about. That's why you haven't seen him on television. That's why he was pulled from... That's why they got stripped. That's why he lost the tag team belts the way he did. Something to do with some legal woes. I was reading that's why he hasn't been on television. Ricky Starks, I think NXT, no. I would like to see him on the main roster. If you're going to bring Ricky Starks in, he doesn't need NXT. He cuts promos. So to be real honest, you don't need him personally right now for NXT. I think he's a tier above. And he's Cody Rhodes' guy, so technically you just put him on the main roster at that point. I could see Ricky Starks right now being Intercontinental Champion. I could see him being U.S. Champion if they want to. Now, this is going to come down to what Tony Khan wants to do with him. With all the legal troubles and everything, does Tony Khan tack on time for his absences and stuff? So we're going to find out. Now, as far as Wardlow goes, Wardlow, honestly, to me, and this is tough for me, and I love Wardlow, but it's like I like Wardlow, but at the same time, he has done nothing to make me go, he'd be great in WWE for me. Penta would be, you know what, I said this, and I said him and his brother going to WWE, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be upset. They have been, especially Penta. Penta's been not booked right in AEW since the beginning. And he hasn't really... They really don't see him as an upper... They see him as an upper mid-card guy. Not so much a main eventer. Penta, I could see being NXT champion. I could see him being North American champion. I miss the days of Penta being in Lucha Underground where he was winning titles. And he was doing great shit with Vampiro. And since he's been in AEW, it's really not panned out. And now, supposedly, he's on a sabbatical, supposedly, over in Mexico now, doing some dates with Mexico. So, I really just don't know what's going on with that. But I do see Rey Fenix and him possibly ending up in WWE. I could see that. And you know, honestly, good for them. They get a bag full of money. They get booked right in NXT. They could be champions. Does The Rock come back at Survivor Series? In California, Roman Reigns coming back SummerSlam. I don't see they don't have Roman Reigns penciled in for SummerSlam, but I could see The Rock at Survivor Series. I could. It's a big event. I could see The Rock coming back by then. You know, honestly, they need Roman right now. SmackDown really, really needs Roman, unfortunately, at the moment. The Rock, honestly, too. Well, more Roman than The Rock for me. Roman needs to be back immediately. This bloodline right now, 2.0, is not doing it for me. Solo ain't it. this sequel of them running it back has not been good, to be honest. Penta going to NXT, I'm pretty excited about that, actually. I think he could be booked better. Joe Henry in NXT. I'm a huge Joe Henry fan. So you guys, you want to hear what my favorite wrestler at the moment is right now is Joe Henry. I've been huge on Joe Henry. Well, Cody's been ice cold. If you've been hearing me for the last couple of weeks, Cody's gone ice cold. He's becoming We the People of John Cena. We the people, host of loyalty and respect. I'm getting tired of it. I get he's supposed to be the new flag bearer of that Undisputed Championship. Or the new WWE heavyweight title or whatever they're calling it. But to me, it's not working out. He's not looked great. The first couple of months against AJ Styles and stuff like that, yes. But it's not looking good. I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul. Or, am I saying? Yeah, Logan. I hate that. Cody acts like a gatekeeper against Logan, and I hate that. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Logan Paul. I mean, but I will say I'm not the biggest fan of Logan Paul, but I do like his heel run right now. I do want to see LA Knight do take that belt off of him, though. I think it's time. He's only defended that title, from what I saw online in a report, like 4 times. And not really been much on TV. And Cody Rhodes is your champion. Of course he's going to do what he needs to do. Damian Priest should lose that title at SummerSlam, though. God, it's going to be a good one. I can't wait for Gunther to be champion. I think Gunther's going to be sick as the champion. The ring general. Yeah, you ain't wrong with that. He needs the title for sure. Logan Paul will be okay without the title. Another one that I think Tiffany will win that belt off of Bayley, though. SummerSlam, I'm kind of cool with that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head out here. I'm going to get to game streaming. I'm going to restart this stream into a game stream. So, yeah. I'll be back here in like 30, 40 minutes or so. And we'll get to some game streaming and whatnot. We'll talk more wrestling. Then I'm going to get up, replenish my drink, cool my room down for a minute, and then be back to streaming. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. I love each and every one of you. You guys have been killing it in the comment sections. Just don't be a fanboy. Please don't. I just had to like settle out my Stephanie Vaquer stuff earlier. I know some people are going to go, why do you respond to comments? Because I always do. I just don't go on Twitter. I mean, I'm on Twitter. I read the stuff on Twitter a lot. I didn't read the Tony Khan stuff, but I don't get in Twitter disputes. I think that's stupid. There's a lot of big YouTubers that do. I don't. I think that stuff hokey pokey. I keep it to YouTube. I keep it to the YouTube. You know, you guys talking. You know, I appreciate you guys coming by. Chatting it up with me, you know what I mean? I keep it to like community forums and things like that, like this, and Twitch and things like that. I don't go on I don't go on X like that. I mean, I read the news and stuff, and I see what people are talking about, so I keep in date what's going on and you know what's trending and you know what are people are talking about. But I don't go like crazy and get in arguments with people. I think that shit's for the birds. It's a waste of time because really, all you're doing is having a mental masturbation, technically. It's basically you're just stroking off each other, technically, over fucking shit. Over nonsensical shit, like, who's going to WWE? Or this reporter said this over here, and that report said that over there. It's like a lot of times it's all rumor and speculation. Like, for instance, boy, I was wrong the other day talking about Natalia. I'll take that L. I was wrong. But I'll give it that. Anyway. I'll see you guys shortly. I'll be back. We're going to play some First Descendants, maybe some Fortnite. Mixed in with, I'll probably be playing some X Defiant. I don't know. I need to kind of switch up my game rotation a little bit. Maybe play some Overwatch. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Peace.